If you're in a struggling marriage, you may be thinking about divorce. I'm Brian Reidy with Reidy Law Office, and we help people through divorce with dignity. Now, you might be thinking that I want my clients to get a divorce. The reality is that's actually the furthest from the truth. I don't actually want any of my clients to go through this, but I do know it's the right thing for some people. If you're considering a divorce, I want you to do everything possible before you come in to see us. In this video, I'm going to go over some of the things that you should be doing and thinking about before you consider scheduling a consultation. Now, before you go down the path of divorce, only you can control you. You don't get to control what your spouse does. So I want you to think about what you can do and not what your spouse can do. The first thing that you can consider is counseling. Now, you might be thinking couples counseling is what we need. But if your spouse doesn't go, you can't force them to go. But you can go on your own and you can invite them along. I encourage every client to do that before they come in to see us. It's important that you do everything possible to save your relationship if you can. However, if your spouse doesn't want to play along and they don't want to get the help, there's only so much you can do on your own. All right, the next thing I want you to consider is taking a break. Now, what I mean by taking a break is I mean a physical separation. In one of our previous videos, we talk about a legal separation, and that's a different story altogether. Here, we're talking about a physical break. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. And in this situation, if you're not feeling the love between you and your spouse, sometimes a break is all you need. Now, if you're going to do a break, it's really important that you have some boundaries and you actually communicate what you're expecting. You need to have a timeline. How long is this separation going to be? And when are we going to communicate about whether it worked or not? It's really important that you also have boundaries for your communication. Don't be texting each other or calling each other if you need that break. The communication between the two of you should be limited to emergencies. Now, if there's children involved, you need to have a parenting schedule in place before anyone leaves. It's really important that your kids understand what's going on, that you guys have a united front and you explain what the plan is to them. And hopefully this will work. Now, once that time away, that break is completed, you need to get back together with your spouse. And it's my goal that this video, this advice helps you from coming in to see me. I hope you never have to see me because I don't want you to go through this. Now, I've been doing this a long time. I've met with hundreds of people and I've heard of all types of stories and stories you couldn't even believe. But the thing that I've never heard in all these years, I've never had someone come into me and say, hey, Brian, my spouse is meeting all my needs. They're meeting all my physical needs, my spiritual, my emotional needs. Like, I just have so much fun with my spouse, but I'm just kind of curious as to what a divorce would be. What would that look like? How would it be for me to divide up half my stuff? It sounds ridiculous, and I know that. But the point is, there's some reason why you're watching this video. And maybe you don't even know what that reason is. If you don't know why you're feeling the way you're feeling, one of the things I would suggest is the 5 Love Languages. It's a great book that I highly recommend. And there's also some online quizzes you can take to identify what your love language is and what your spouse's love language is. Chances are you may not be communicating in the same way, and that can have a tremendous impact on your relationship. There are some things that are just deal breakers. And really only you can decide what your true deal breakers are. For example, infidelity. Some couples just can never get past it. Some couples can. Some couples can work on it. They build back the trust and they recognize that they want to be together. The reality is infidelity happens for a reason. I can assure you that no one's come to me and said, hey, everything was great, but I just decided to have an affair. The reason an affair happens is because something is missing, whether it's physical, emotional, or otherwise, that's what led to the affair. Now, I'm not trying to place blame on anyone. I am simply stating the facts. Here's the thing that you need to think about what are your deal breakers? Can you get past that? Maybe it's not physical infidelity. Maybe it's financial infidelity. Maybe your spouse is hiding money from you or spending money on things that you don't know about. Is this something that you can get past? Is there abuse? Maybe physical, emotional. Again, these are things that you have to decide in your situation and decide what you can tolerate. Now, if you're being ignored and you're just simply not having your needs met, you can't change who your spouse is, but you can start taking steps to help yourself. At the end of the day, marriage is supposed to be fun. Now, not every day is like a Disney movie where it's, riding off into the sunset. Marriage is hard work, but it's worth it. You should be married to your friend, probably your best friend. You should enjoy spending time with them. But if this sounds like a foreign concept to you, maybe it's time for you to move forward. If you want to move forward, I'm going to highly recommend that you have a trusted advisor by your side. If you'd like our help, we would be honored to meet with you and talk about your options.